Alright, so welcome back guys, or welcome to your first time here. I'm Vision Hero Runner Team, bringing you guys another video. Today I'm going over some recent news we got in regards to an interview with Simon Bennett, the new head of Power Rangers franchise. Now, if Power Rangers is something you're interested in, don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below and hit that bell icon. That'll miss no more Power Rangers content from me moving forward. Now let's begin. So, like I said, we have Simon Bennett, who gave a recent interview with, I think it was Sci-Fi, regarding the future of the franchise. And I'm going to paraphrase some of the things he went into here. And if you want, you can check out the interview. I'll have it linked in the description box. But he went into a lot of interesting things and touched on a lot of the things that went on during the Saban era. And I think this is very interesting because he shed some light onto what Saban wanted to do. Now, from what I understand, after Saban returned following the 2017 movie, is that he didn't like the direction that they had taken PR. And which I find very interesting because he went into this how he wanted to make PR more of a standalone everyday week episode. There was no serialized storytelling. You had check boxes of you have to have the moral of the episode, the character learning their lesson, 2 ground fights, a Megazord fight, and then a whole happy-go-lucky ending, which I find very of course childish, and pretty much is the platform of what we saw for the past 10 years. Now, I think this was a very bad thing to do within PR, and it shows, and it's very interesting to see that Bennett is willing to call out Saban and reveal what he was doing. I mean, Simon Bennett just took over the franchise. This could be seen as him attacking Saban. Like, I give him guts for that, because, I mean, he could kind of be killing his career right out the bat, pretty much revealing that's what Saban did. And he mentioned about going into the serialized storytelling, about how for adult fans that there will be serialized storytelling, episodes will connect. It won't be so much for kids to notice, but the adult fans who do like serialized storytelling will notice it. And I think that it shows. We just have the first 2 episodes, and I feel like within the first 2 episodes, they sync up very well together as in continuing storylines. I feel like episode 2 can feel like it took place just a few minutes after episode 1 ended. So I feel like that's something there. Like, it shows how close in time and it's connecting, and and it even shows how they're doing storytelling, because it picks up in episode 2 and you still have Ollie's mom with the Rangers, so you know it didn't take too long after the fact. So it really shows the serialized storytelling there. Now, that's one thing Simon Bennett did say. And now, he did say he's doing that for the adult fans. So it shows that he does care about the adult fans. However, on the other hand, he does mention how the adult fans are a niche fan base. They're a small fan base, which I highly disagree with. Like we all know, there's a separate con for Power Morphicon, which in my opinion is mostly all adults from what I can hear. And so I don't believe that it's all adult fans are a small percentage of the fan base. I think that they are quite a large amount of the fan base. And I feel like Simon Bennett is just kind of saying that to kind of, if there's something bad and adult fans get mad, he can kind of push it to the side. So that's one thing I didn't agree with him. Now, he also went into talking about adapting certain sentai. Now, he did mention how in certain areas they have to pick and choose what sentai they adapt, and one of the reasons that they remove Dino Fury is because dinosaurs are universally connectable for all fans, whether they're American based or of other countries. So that's one of the reasons. And then he mentioned the fact that they don't want to do trains because trains are not something that all kids in the world are fans of, which I think is I highly disagree with this as well. I think that they're as popular as dinosaurs. I think that they could have done that. I wonder if this is something for him saying technically they're not going to do. I think it's Tokuger with the train theme. I don't know Sentai. Correct me if I'm wrong. Which one is the train-based Sentai? I mean, maybe he's using that as a red herring, and then maybe next year, whenever down the road they announce the next season of PR, it will be the train season. I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. But I do find that the be a negative there. One thing going on about how adapting PRs, from what I understand, they wrote this at the same time that Rhea Soldier was airing in Japan. So that's very interesting because from what I understand, they had to write it while it's airing, so they didn't really know how the story ended. So I think that's a very interesting thing. Now, going off in another direction, Simon Bennett also talked about the comedy duo characters that were introduced. We saw them in Ninja Steel with Monty and Victor, and then with Beast Morphers with Ben and Betty. Now, for the reason that, from what I understand, from what Simon Bennett said, is Saban saw this as a throwback to from MMPR, as well as needing the usual comedy that PR has, and that the slapstick comedy is what kids are into. And I highly disagree with that. I don't believe that kids are all just into the slapstick fart joke comedy. I just don't believe it. I think that that's just a weak way to say that they need to insert comedy, because I feel like kids are way beyond that, especially with a Y7 rating. I mean, come on, that's just juvenile at that point. And I just think that they needed to do something better. And from what we understand was what Simon Bennett was saying in this is that there are still going to be comedy elements of the show, which like PR always does, but it's just going to be spread around. There won't be one particular comedy character. It's going to be spread around between different characters. The villains are going to be having comedy moments, and it's going to be more through actions and dialogue. So I like that. I like that they're spreading it out a little bit more. I had heard that they're going to be doing more comedy characters. I hope it's not like they're not just saying this and then there's going to be a comedy duo. I mean, it's been 2 episodes in and we really haven't seen it. I mean, for the most part, we have seen some comedy with, dialogue with Amelia and stuff like that. I feel like I'm worried, though, because it feels like they're doing some comedy bits with Mucus, the new general that Void Knight has, and he feels like he could end up being like a Norg or Elgar type character. I hope that's not the direction they're going with. I really like what they're doing so far with Void Knight, and I just really don't want to see them go down that road with Mucus being that kind of character. But that's where we stand on the comedy thing. Now, as far as looking at how they did the comedy in episode 2, though, they did do it with the whole Buzz Blast thing with the head person with that robot. Honestly, I've heard mixed feelings about that. I think, personally, from my opinion, I think that worked and was okay. It did take a derail from the story, but it also at the same time did work with the story. So I'm kind of iffy on that. It wasn't like cringy like Victor and Monty or Ben and Betty. I did get a chuckle out of it. It wasn't like terrible, but also could have been better. So I think it was very well done there. And looking at what they've done with the first 2 episodes so far, yes, they did the moral of the week with Ollie, but it wasn't on the nose like they did with the past 2 years. It wasn't all this, this is what you need to learn. It was more of, at the end of the day, Ollie learned his lesson, but it wasn't shoved down our throat. It wasn't like on the nose. They had him, realize that he learned his lesson, and it was kind of moving on from there at the end of the episode. You didn't have those whole, weird team, go team, whatever, all that BS that they've done for the past 10 years. So I really like that they did that and changed it up. And also, they didn't end with the all happy-go-lucky ending, especially with episode 2, where you had Void Knight in his new base and talking about his new plan. So it wasn't like they have done with the past 10 years where it's this whole Power Rangers together with all those BS stuff it was. And it felt like they left it on a cliffhanger, which is what Simon Bennett said they want to try to do, which is put in more cliffhanger endings, which I feel like they did with episode 2. So I'm like right now looking at what Simon Bennett has talked about and seeing how the first 2 episodes of Dino Fury has run, it definitely looks like they're trying to go in a different direction. I think that they definitely have. It looks pretty good. It feels different in Dino Fury. I mean, it's only been 2 episodes, but it definitely feels different than this Saban era. So I'm really hoping that this season ends up being better. But I want to know your thoughts and opinions. Let me know what your thoughts and opinions are on Dino Fury so far and on Simon Bennett's interview that he did recently, and any other things you want to talk about. Let me know in the comment section down below regarding to Dino Fury and that Simon Bennett interview. So yeah, guys, those are my thoughts and opinions regarding the new interview with Simon Bennett in regards to the Neo Saban era and the upcoming Hasbro era. As always, if you like this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and share. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below and hit that bell icon to not miss more Power Rangers content from me moving forward. And you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter, which is linked in the about section of my YouTube channel. As always, I've been Vision Hero One Entertainment, and I'll see you next time.